Hello everyone, welcome to the reading. This is part 2 of the whole Lori Harvey, Michael B. Jordan situation. So let me just ask real quick so I won't waste any time. Was this relationship for publicity? Because I've been seeing that on like other people's videos and shit. Alright, so these two cards fell face down and this fell face up. So the whole spice things up, no, it was a real relationship. You know what I mean? It was exciting. I'm getting a vibe that it was something new for the both of them. So very interesting. This is interesting though, how these two cards are face down. I feel like this is for her and this is for him. So let me actually pick up her vibe. This whole individuality, the reason why they broke up is because it has to do with her individuality. You know what I mean? She feels like she's unique. Not just that, she feels like she's being courageous. You know what I mean? That she's a trend setter. I mean, I personally don't believe that's the case. But this is what she believes. Let's get his vibe. In your dreams, manifesting, deja vu, patience, blissful. What I'm getting with this energy is that he did try to make it work. You know what I mean? And it goes back, I'm not going to even lie, to what I was telling you guys in the previous reading of the whole black love situation. I'm definitely seeing that vibe, that this dude was, you know, he was trying to promote black love. You know, it is what it is. He's just like, yo, you know, like, if I have to be in a relationship with a female, then I'm going to promote black love while I'm doing it. But again, it just wasn't his thing, as the previous reading showed. So, I mean, that's what's going on as far as, like, was it for publicity? I'm not seeing publicity. I'm seeing a real situation. You know what I mean? Now, I'm going to ask, because I'm going to ask questions with this particular reading. Part 1 was pretty long. And so, let's see. Well, it was actually long. I just didn't want it to get long. So, let's see what happens with this particular reading. So, I'm curious. How was their mundane situation, their mundane everyday life? You know what I mean? Like their day-to-day. What can I see about that? What is going on with their mundane day-to-day situation? I'm going to do things a little bit differently. I'm going to pull 4 cards out and I'm going to look into the energies. You know what I mean? Sometimes I feel the need to switch up the way I do my readings. You know what I mean? I'm going to pull the cam back a little bit further. There we go. And so, yeah, let's see what we can see. So I'm going to pull the first card. Death. I mean, this is an interesting energy, right? Death. It's kind of just like, what I'm getting from this is conversations. I'm definitely getting conversations. Like, you know this isn't going to work, right? I'm definitely getting that vibe. That, like, in their day-to-day, like, there were conversations of, like, you know, we're not gonna last, like, shit's gonna be coming to an end with this death here. So I definitely see that, you know what I mean? So it's not necessarily it wasn't a surprise for the both of them, you know what I mean? This was something in the making already. With this Queen of Staffs, this gives us more insight, right? Because I was telling you, I seen death, right? Like, they were basically communicating like, this shit isn't going to last. And it was coming from the female. So I think this goes back to the reading I did for them previously. How I was saying that, like, she knows who he really is. You know what I mean? She knows his vibe. She knows what he's into. She wasn't feeling it. So again, she was the one that was just like, yo, you know, because the Queen of Staffs is all about like energy, about movement as well. Because the staffs are wands. They have to do with energy, movement. You know what I mean? So for her, she's just like, yo, I'm focused on my growth. I'm going to let that shit be behind me, our relationship. So, I mean, very interesting. Let's see what the next card shows. It's interesting, right? Because they both felt stuck. So this is very deep. I'm actually liking this energy. It's given some really good insight. As I was saying, like with the previous reading, they were both feeling stuck. I'm going to start repeating that. But definitely, if you haven't seen the previous reading, you know what I mean? This is basically based off the previous reading I did for them. But what I'm seeing is that, yeah, it was kind of just like they were both stuck. You know what I mean? Feeling trapped. You know what I mean? Not just that, this is an energy of stagnant water, stagnant energy, stagnant feelings. You know, before they got into it, it was like spicing things up. But then it was kind of just like, this got old. So it is what it is. The next card, the World. Yeah, this was definitely sort of like a meant to be mutual situation. This is interesting, right? Because some people say that she broke up with him, that he broke up with her. I'm going to be honest with you. And that was actually one of the questions I was going to ask, but this actually showed me what went down. You know what I mean? It was a mutual situation. You see these paths of water? Represents the both of them. It was a mutual situation. The parting of ways. You know what I mean? Not just that. The World has to do with putting yourself out there. The World means, these cards means multiple things, right? But one of the things that the World represents is your standing in life. You know what I mean? So it's kind of just like, they knew that this situation wasn't going anywhere. So for her, she's just like, yo, I'm focused about my standing in life. And he's like, I'm focused on mine. So it was a mutual situation is what I'm seeing. So that's the mundane shit that I'm seeing. I want to get the vibe, though, of what does Steve Harvey feel about this situation. I figured, why not? So let's see. What can I say? I'm going to do the same thing with the 4 cards. All right. It's interesting. Death came out again. So it was no shock to him as well. You know what I mean? He wasn't shocked. You know, this wasn't something that caught him off guard. You know, he definitely knew what was up with this death situation. You know what I mean? So very interesting. I'm also going to pull this card after I'm done looking into these 4 cards, because this wants to come out because it showed me something was off. Let me get the next card. Natural disaster. You see this shit? He was just like, you guys weren't meant to be together anyway. This is funny, right? Because I ain't gonna like get too deep as far as like what I see as far as the whole Michael B. Jordan situation, but I'm gonna keep it real. He was just like, you know, naturally this guy isn't into you naturally. You know, this situation is a disaster. So again, it ain't catch him by surprise. It did cause stress, though. It did cause stress. And this is interesting, right? It's interesting because what I'm getting is love. I know that sounds corny, and you guys know I'm not a corny individual. Like, I don't say corny, stupid shit. You know what I mean? But I gotta keep it real. He definitely does care about Lori Harvey, even though that's not his natural daughter. But what I'm seeing in this situation is that he's just like, he knows the reputation. He knows the shame that's associated with her. You know, like, people say all sorts of shit about Lori Harvey. You know, how she, like, jumps from a guy to another guy. And, you know, she has a body count. You know what I mean? And it's funny, to the guys that she with, you know, they're people from the industry. So we know the type of, like, language that's used for females that are like that. So, you know, he's putting 2 and 2 together. You know, it's causing some stress. He's just like, damn, like, you know, you can't keep, like, stacking up bodies and shit. So I'm definitely seeing that. Let's get the next card. Readiness. What this is showing me, though, is that he's ready to help her. You know what I mean? He's not an asshole. He's not just like, yo, I'm not going to fuck with you. Because some people, like, they can have the vibe of like, yo, this is your life. This is your shit. Just keep me out of it. Do you? I'm not seeing that with this. This is a nurturing energy. You see with the 2 4s here? I'm definitely getting a nurturing energy. You know what I mean? Not just that with this arrangement. You know, he's trying to propose some situations for her as well. Again, he's stressed because he wants a suitable match for her with this stress situation. Now, this is going to give me deeper insight into his emotion because the card is face down and it was sideways. Gifts. This is interesting, right? This is a real deep insight. He feels like she's not using her gifts. And it's fascinating because what I'm getting intuitively with this energy is that he feels like she's focusing too much on the dudes. You know what I mean? He's like, yo, let your gifts shine. You know, again, I'm not corny, but this is just what I'm picking up intuitively. He's just like, yo, you have gifts. You need to be known for that shit. The fact that it was sideways is showing me that, you know, she doesn't want to hear it. You know, like in the previous reading was showing me, she wants to make it like, you know, big in a whole Hollywood situation. You know, she likes having that reputation. She likes being out there. You know, no one's not holding a gun to her head saying like, yo, you need to be in the Hollywood industry. She's trying to force that shit, you know, and intuitively I was picking up that it's not for her, you know, but again, she keeps forcing it. He's worried about her gifts going to waste, you know, and I'm pretty sure this mimics the mother's energy because, you know, he's just like the stepdad. So, you know, if he knew that this shit was going to die, obviously the mom knew. So it's no point to even look and see like, how does Marjorie feel about that situation? I believe that's her name. I never said it before. So if I said it stupid, that's why. I'm gonna see what's going on with Lori Harvey currently. What's happening with her? Like, what is she up to currently? You know what I mean? Some people said like she's trying to date. This lady, she needs to calm down. This shit is fucking funny as fuck to me. Look at this shit. She's still out trying to like talk to another dude. You know what I mean? Let me have a glass of water. Excuse me for a second. This shit funny though, right? Because, one second. What I'm seeing is that she's still focused on dudes. That's why Steve is just like, yo, you know, you're stacking up bodies, but shit ain't necessarily coming from it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be real with you guys. She's still trying to fuck with other dudes. You know what I mean? She's trying to jump right into another relationship. So again, she's not even focusing on her gifts. She's not even doing other shit. It's like she's a celebrity groupie. I'm gonna keep it real. It is what the fuck it is. Look at this shit. This is the lovers. So she's still trying to seduce another dude. Fascinating as fuck, in my opinion. All right. So let's see. The card definitely came out, but there it is right there. Damn, this lady, she's like on to plan B. She definitely does want children. And it's funny because I know readers and other people are just like, you know, oh, she doesn't want no kids. She's young, whatever the fuck that means. To me, I think all that's stupid because some people have been saying shit like, and I'm not trying to offend anyone. This is just my opinion. You know, people are entitled to their own opinions. But I feel like being young isn't an excuse to just basically like do the most, because what's being shown to me is that she's definitely doing the most, and it's no sort of like good things coming from it, in my opinion, you know, unless she just wants that experience. But it's nothing to do with experience. She just wants sort of like a title, a name for herself in the whole Hollywood world, you know. But what's being shown to me is that her plan B is to get pregnant. She wants to get pregnant. She definitely wants to get pregnant. She's just like, I mean, this is funny, right? I'm not picking up a female that's traditional. I'm gonna be honest with you. So this is like, I'm not saying that like she's gonna have a baby without being married, but I'm gonna be real. The energies that I'm picking up is that she doesn't give a fuck about marriage. She doesn't care about any of that shit. And that's interesting because just me being a person doing this reading, it's kind of just like, well, that she has this mindset because it goes back to like her actual natural father and her mother shit basically not going well. So she's just like, I don't care about that shit. Because what I'm seeing is that she just doesn't care. Not just that, she wants to have a baby with a prominent man. So that's what she's focused on. She's focused on love. She definitely wants to have a baby with a prominent man, but she doesn't even care about marriage. She's just like, yo, I want him to be straight this time, fully straight. And I want him to be like somebody, you know what I mean? And I want to have some kids. So that's what I'm seeing. That's what she's focused on. So, I mean, yeah. So I'm curious, what's going on with Michael B. Jordan? What can I see? What is he currently up to? This is a funny ass situation for sure. This whole individuality and shit like that, well, I'm seeing, like, you know, like intuitively from picking up the energy, he's trying to make the best of his life. He's definitely trying to make the best of his life. You know what I mean? So what I'm seeing, like, what I'm picking up intuitively is that he's hanging with friends. You know what I mean? He's talking to different individuals. You know what I mean? Not just that, he's not really bothered with the whole love situation. This is more an energy of fun. So for him, he's having fun. I know some people said that there was like a video of him looking sad or something. I didn't see the video, to be honest. But what I'm picking up with the cards is that he's just having fun. Like, he's just chilling. He's not. You know what I mean? Not just that. But again, what was I telling you? That he was having fun? You see these dates and this courtship? Again, he does want something old-fashioned. So it's funny. She doesn't want nothing old-fashioned. He wants something old-fashioned. It's funny that this looks like him as well, kind of, right? So it's kind of just like he wants that whole old-fashioned, chivalrous sort of situation. He likes that image. You know what I mean? And despite whatever he's into, you know what I mean? This is what he wants for himself. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to live sort of just like a crazy open lifestyle. He wants something where it's kind of just like old-fashioned. You know what I mean? So that's what he's currently doing. So, I mean, he's out dating too. You know, so it is what it is. But again, he's just like having fun. With her, it's more of just like she has a target and she's trying to execute it. So, I mean, guys, definitely tell me, what do you think of this reading? It's no point really to go into any other sort of like questions or anything like that. If you made this far, definitely press the thumbs up. I appreciate the love, the support, of course. And yeah, stay tuned for more content. Thanks again, guys. Have fun.